Hey, shalom, shalom. All right, before I get started with this lesson today, I just want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations unto the elect. All right. Now, in this lesson today, I just want to, go into how you should not have sex on the Sabbath. You should not have sex on the Sabbath. All right, and what inspired me to do this lesson is watching this video here, by Apostle Tahar. All right, really I was watching Apostle Bar and he mentioned this video. All right, but as you can see, Apostle Tahar's page is what is the 666 mark? All right, what is that? Yeah, what is the 666 mark? To GMS truth. All right, and in this lesson right here, it reads the title of the lesson is sex on the Sabbath is a no-no, and indeed it is a no-no. All right, it's against the law, all right, to have sex on the Sabbath, and we're going to prove that in this lesson today. All right, and you have IUIC, all right, trying to justify sex on the Sabbath. You see, so let's get into how you should not have sex on the Sabbath. All right, let's get into it. So let's get into Exodus 20 and verse 8. All right, the 10 Commandments. All right, Exodus 20 and 8, it reads, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Let's read it in NLT. Remember to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. All right, and let's go into this word holy. All right, holy. All right, in the Hebrew is quadash. All right, quadash. In the outline of biblical usage, it reads to consecrate, sanctify, prepare, dedicate, to be hallowed, be holy, be sanctified, be separate. Right, be separate from what? The unclean, be separate from wickedness. All right. Let's see. And also another word for holy, to be set apart. All right, you have to be set apart from profane things. All right, and dedicate yourself to the righteousness of the Most High. Let's get this word here. It's a lot of words, to be holy, to be honored, treated as sacred. It all goes into it. But the word that I really want to get here, all right, is Strong's definition. It says kodash, a primitive root, to be causatively make, pronounce, or observe as clean. You see, ceremonially or morally, appoint, bid, consecrate, dedicate, defile, hollow, to keep holy, to place, to prepare, proclaim, to purify. You see, so the two main words I want to get into is clean and purify. The word purify just means to cleanse. All right, look up the word purify, to clean, to purge, to remove contaminants from. You see, and when you have sex on the Sabbath, you're doing the opposite of purifying yourself. You're making yourself unclean. All right, so let's prove that in Leviticus, the 15th chapter. We're gonna go into the law. All right, which IUIC they're all about the law, the law, the law, but yet again you don't even understand the law. All right, you don't keep the laws. All right, and we're supposed to keep the laws to the best of our ability, but IUIC, they advertise themselves as if they keep the law 100% perfectly. All right, in which that's not possible. All right, so let's get in Leviticus 15. Let's see. Matter of fact, the point is in verse 18. I'm going to start up a little bit. All right, let's get in verse 16. Leviticus 15 and verse 16. And we're going to read it in the NLT. It reads, whenever a man has an emission of semen, right, the man's seed, he must bathe his entire body in water, and he will remain ceremonially unclean until the next evening. You see, so even when the semen leaves a man's body, you become unclean. All right, ceremonially unclean. So if you're ceremonially unclean, all right, on the Sabbath, you are not keeping the Sabbath holy. As it says back in, all right, Exodus 20, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. All right, let's get in. Let's just read it again. All right, verse 8, Exodus 20 and 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And one of those words is purify. All right, or to clean, to be clean. You have to be clean, all right, and holy, all right, and separate, hallowed on the Sabbath day. All right, when you having sex on the Sabbath, you are not making yourself clean, all right, holy, consecrated to the Most High. All right, so let's go back into Leviticus. Just want to go back into that. All right, Leviticus 15, let's see, verse 16. Whenever a man has emission of semen, he must bathe his entire body in water, and he will remain ceremonially unclean until the next evening. Any clothing or leather with semen on it must be washed in water, and it will remain unclean until evening. After a man, here's the point, after a man and a woman have sexual intercourse, they must bathe they must each bathe in water, and they will remain unclean until the next evening. So when, all right, a man and a woman have, all right, sexual intercourse, the act of sex makes you unclean. All right, and therefore you are not keeping the Sabbath day holy. Okay, because if you keeping the Sabbath day holy, you will be clean on that day. All right, Leviticus 15 and 18 KJV. The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and and be unclean until the evening. Right, plain and simple. And it's not hard. It's just not hard to understand. But yet you have Israelites. They seek to twist and contort the scriptures to serve them their own bellies. You see, whatever wicked desire that they want to do, they're going to try and twist and contort the scriptures, so that they can do that wicked and selfish desire that they want to do. You see? So let's get a proof of this. Let's get Exodus 19. Let's start at verse. Let's see. Let's start at verse 18. Verse 8. Leviticus Exodus 19 and verse 8. And all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord has spoken, we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people to the Lord, Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Moses, lo, I come into thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. Wait, did I read that? Yeah, I told the words of the people unto the Lord, Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Moses, go unto the people and sanctify them. Right. Again, going into holy. One of the words for holy you went into it was sanctified, to be sanctified. So that the people had to be sanctified, made holy. All right, in order to before the Lord came. It says, go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes. Right, you have to be clean and be ready against the third day. For the third day, the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, take heed to yourselves that ye go not up unto the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever touches the mount shall be surely put to death. There shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through. Whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people and sanctified them. Well, it's like it sanctified the people. All right, let's just go into the word sanctify, see what it means. We already know what it means. I already explained it. All right, again, quadash. All right, to sanctify, prepare, to dedicate, to be hallowed, to be holy. All right, sanctified is the same thing as to make holy. All right, to be holy. Again, you see this word here, clean. You see this word here, purify. All right, and you're not purified, you're not clean if you have sex on that day, as we're going to get into. It says, and he said unto the people, be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives. And here's the point. Let's read this in the NLT. What does it come not at your wives say? It's going to explain it in the NLT. Exodus 19 and 15. He told him, get ready for the third day, and until then abstain from having sexual intercourse. Why was this commandment given? Because sexual intercourse makes you unclean. Plain and simple. That's why it was instructed. Look, do not come at your wives. Don't have sexual intercourse. All right, because it's going to make you unclean. You're supposed to be clean. All right, when I come on the third day. Plain and simple. So this proves, all right, that you cannot have sex on the Sabbath, because the act of sex, all right, makes you unclean. All right, therefore you're not keeping the Sabbath day holy. Okay, plain and simple. All right, but with that, hopefully whoever may be watching was edified. All right, but with that, I just want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations unto you hopeful elect out there. Shalom.